Now we're going to move to probably the talk of the town coach for his performance from the SAC a week ago. And he's joining us via phone tonight because he's on the road. He's had a busy weekend, but we have Brandon Logan from Snider High School. And Brandon, if you can hear us and turn on your mic, thanks first of all for joining us tonight. Just talk about this last week for you, the big game on Friday night. Snider pulls out the win, and your ability, the 2 pick sixes. Just talk about what Friday night was like for you, and really the days since.
Yeah, Friday it was awesome. It was probably one of the top 3 games. I mean, like atmosphere wise, I've ever played in. Obviously, we got the win against a really good 6A team, Carroll. It was the Indiana game of the week. But yeah, we made a few more plays than they did in the end of it, and we just got the win. The pick sixes were so the first one. The first one was just easier because the ball was kind of right to me, and I had Landon in front of me to get the blocker. But the second one was it was the end of the half, and if when he throws the ball, there's 0 seconds on the clock, and as I'm going back, as I'm getting the ball, I know there's 0 seconds on the clock, so I'm returning, and I know like even if I get tackled at the one, it doesn't matter because the offense can't do anything because the half is over. So I'm thinking in my mind while I'm running, I have to score, and that's what I did, and it was a huge momentum changer, and I think that it obviously it really helped us.
Yeah, we're seeing a clip of it right now that we were able to get from, I believe, a ground cam, but you looked like you were about to run out of gas there about the 3 because you had run not only, I mean, I know it went down as an 80-yarder, but you probably ran about 100. Yeah, you must have ran about 110 yards on that one.
Yeah, like when I was running, I mean, I reversed fields, but when I was running towards the end zone, it didn't feel like anybody was that close to me. But when I looked at the video, I mean, Hanson and Nate Starks were right behind me the whole time. I didn't realize they were that close to me, and I just kind of dove in just because I was tired. But yeah, when I got back into the locker room, I just laid down on my back, gassed.
Yeah. The crazy thing, Brandon, I saw your dad and Justin Wynn, and it was a packed house out at Snider. Former quarterback Justin Wynn, your dad played linebacker at Snider. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. I missed the first one. I'm filming the stuff on the sidelines, and I'm like, oh man, I missed the first one. And then, the next series, there he is, number 4, the outfielder again. For you, to have that opportunity, Brandon, to play for Snider like your dad did, to be that safety, to play in those big games and to have those big moments, it's for you as an athlete. I mean, just talk about those moments for you and how special it is to play for Snider and to represent the Panthers like you did Friday night.
Yeah, like you said, my dad went to Snyder, so like when I was growing up, it was just like Snyder, 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 and that's just like me and my parents used to talk about like we couldn't wait till I get to high school and stuff. The Friday nights are gonna be super fun, and I remember last year I was telling somebody they were asking me like if I was excited and stuff, and I was like I've been waiting for this for a long time, and it's here, and it's been here for about a year now, but we're not done yet. But I love it. I love Coach Shipman. I love the coaching staff. It's really like more just people that you can talk to outside of football and just everyday life too.
Sure. Talk about this game last Friday night. I mean, obviously big time SAC implications. You guys, the ground and pound, and then your 2 pickoffs and touchdowns kind of opened things up for Snider. But it was nip and tuck the whole way. Just talk about the competition you've seen so far. You guys played Warren Central in the beginning, and a good win there. East Noble. Then you get into SAC play, and you guys are playing against Carroll, and 2 wins over Southside and Concordia early on. But the competition level in the SAC, how it's gotten so much better in the last couple of years, and you've seen that. Just talk about what you're seeing out there as a player.
Yeah, like I feel like every week, every team presents a new challenge. So like a team like East Noble, they run the ball really well, so we have to work on stopping the run. And a team like Carroll that we just played, they're one of the best passing teams in the state. So I feel like seeing those different teams helps us overall, and also that we get to play out of conference games like the Warden Central game when we have to go down to Indy. I feel like that's going to help us later on in the season. So when we're in regionals or semi-state or whatever it is, that's not our first road trip that we've been on. Because the past few years, I mean, we've only been our furthest game was not even 20 minutes away. So I feel like that's going to help us later on in the season also.
Hey, Brandon, this is Coach Griff, and let's talk a little bit about your decision to play baseball. You've committed to Vanderbilt. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How was that recruiting experience with Vandy? Because they're a pretty good, darn good baseball team, that's for sure. And I think they're kind of referred to as the Vandy boys. What in all that led you to Vanderbilt?
Yeah. The recruiting for baseball started really early. I got my first offer my freshman year in September. I think it was Louisville. So they were my first offer. Then I was going to a bunch of camps. I was going to Kentucky. Then I was playing in a tournament in Florida, and they see me play down there. And my coach asked me to send him like a list of schools that like I would want to go to, and I sent him a list, and Vanderbilt was one of those schools. Then he got me in touch with Vanderbilt. Then Vanderbilt invited me to like a prospect camp. It was like in November, and I went to that, and I did good there. And a few weeks later, they offered me. Then a couple weeks later, then I committed.
Any possibilities of trying to do both?
No, not right now. No.
Well, I was going to say, I know some people at Vanderbilt football that probably like to have you because I know Iowa's actually offered you for football. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, they offered me. They actually offered me like last school year, like in May, but
Uh-huh.
I just never posted it until whenever I did, like August, early August.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What is
Yeah.
your prospects when it comes to baseball in the draft? Or is there any possibilities there that may also have to force you to make a decision?
Yeah, there is a good possibility that that could happen.
What are some of the feedback you're getting there?
Well, I mean, it's also like if it's what I want to do and if it makes sense or not, like
Yeah.
money wise and stuff, and if I do want to go get a education right away.
Mhm. What are you thinking of studying? Because Vanderbilt, I mean, it's one of the top academic schools in the country. And it's, not everybody just walks into Vanderbilt and shows them their grades and stuff. It's a pretty strict academic school. What are you thinking of studying there?
Yeah, some type of like exercise science or like anatomy stuff, so I can get into like kind of like the stuff that PSM does, like the physical training and stuff, because that's kind of what I
Okay.
want to do when I get older.
Well, you're not going to go wrong at Vanderbilt
Yeah.
with whatever you want to study. And I'm sure your heart is set on playing Major League Baseball. Would that be a fair assessment as well?
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
Brandon,
That's
talk
awesome.
about just real Brandon, talk. You're a multi-sport athlete.
Absolutely.
Basketball you did for a while at Blackhawk Middle School and at Snider, and found success there. You didn't play this past season, but you turned to track a little bit. You were a city champion in track, and now you made it to state with the 4x1 for Snider last year. The dedication of balancing all three of those sports or four sports, basketball, football, track, baseball, for you, what's that look like as far as how you balance all of that and are so successful about what you're able to do on all different of those courts?
Yeah, my freshman year, like you said, I played football, basketball, and baseball. Then my sophomore year last year, I didn't play basketball. I focused on more like weightlifting and stuff and getting into PSM more because that was my problem my freshman year. I didn't get into like PSM as much as I wanted to and stuff, and I wanted to put on weight. I didn't think basketball would help me with that. Then my sophomore year, I was just like kind of thinking like I didn't like just want to do baseball all the time. So I asked the track coach if he would be okay with that and stuff. But it was definitely hard. Like I would have to go in to practice in the mornings before school, then just go to baseball practice after school. And there was a lot of days where I definitely did not feel like going to track practice. But the baseball coaches were cool with it and stuff. But it definitely was hard. but I like it. And this is gonna sound weird, but another reason why I did it is so I could get my mom has her Letterman jacket, and I want to get more pins than she did when she was in high school.
Yeah. And your mom used to be, am I right, the Dwenger softball coach? Am I right on that?
Yeah, she was, but she went to West Lafayette.
Okay.
She's
All
a
right.
Purdue grad or West Lafayette High
Yeah,
School.
yeah. Well, yeah. She went to West Lafayette High School, but she is a Purdue grad also.
Okay. And then she
Okay.
came
Well,
back to the Fort Wayne area and coached at Dwenger. So
Yeah,
that's cool. Well, that's great.
I
Well,
wish you the
Brandon,
best too, because like Duke was saying there, not too many kids out there realize that it's okay to play 3 sports or be a multi-sport athlete. But if you're not going to be a multi-sport athlete, do something that's going to help you in one sport or the other by getting out and being involved in the weight room and things like that. So
yeah.
that's a big tip of the cap to you for going out and still chasing things that you still love to do. So good for you, man.
all right. Well, Brandon, we appreciate you coming on tonight, spending some time. I know it's been a busy week for you, and I'm sure people have been blowing up your phone and everything from all over and your parents' phones. And I just know that it was a big night on Friday, and to see that was what truly amazing, a great game. And obviously you guys now sit atop the SAC with some games to go. Another big one, Coach, too, Brandon, with Homestead this
Yeah.
weekend. We
Mhm.
will be out there for the 1380 game of the week yet again. So big SAC implications. And I know that you're looking forward to being a big part of it. And we certainly appreciate you being on with us this week on Upon Further Review.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
All right. That was Brandon Logan, the talented safety from Snider High School, center fielder on the baseball team, played basketball. I think they got the sectional championship his sophomore year. I'm trying to re-rack my brain with that, but then gets to state on the 4x1 as a track
Yeah.
athlete. And literally last spring, there were times where we didn't talk about it too much, but Brandon would go play a Snider baseball game in the morning, maybe even a doubleheader, 10
Right.
o'clock game, and then beat feet to go over to the North Side Relays and
Right.
literally change in the car and get there and run a race. Or, that's dedication, and
Yep.
that's a multi-sport athlete that is reaping the benefits of what he sowed, Coach.